What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video party. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because this video, it is time to finally talk about the finale of the quintuplet franchise, the Quintessential Quintuplets Movie. Now before we go any further, I know you're probably thinking, but wait, Adam, the movie comes out on December 2nd. How are you able to watch the movie early? Well, I was able to find some sources where this movie was leaked apparently, and I was able to watch it from a very reliable source. So yeah, so I was able to see the movie early. But anyway, oh my god, I cannot believe that it's finally here after a long wait. We finally get to see the finale for this franchise, and what a way to go. I mean, this movie goes big by pulling out all the stops to finally show us which of these 5 sisters is going to be the bride. But before we go any further, let's bring everyone up to speed. For those of you who are new to this channel, about a year ago, I binged through both seasons of this anime, and the series overall focuses on 5 sisters who are obviously quintuplets, but are apparently falling in love with the same guy. And throughout the series, the showrunners keep teasing us on which of these 5 sisters will our main character Futaro end up marrying. I'll be sure to put a link to that old video in the description down below so that some of you new viewers can get caught up in this series. So be sure to check out that video and don't forget to hit that like button. So right off the bat, the movie opens up with a scene that a lot of fans are very familiar with because this particular scene has been used throughout the course of this entire anime series. It's wedding day, and our main character Futaro is remembering all the times that he and his fiance had back when they were in high school. And while at first I see this as keeping up with consistency given how this movie's pretty much following the same formula that both 2 seasons used prior before it, but on the other hand, it's so repetitive at this point. Honestly, I feel like we've seen this particular wedding scene so many times throughout the anime that I feel like at this point we're pretty much beating a dead horse. Seriously, the director is just trolling us right now, knowing that we are finally about to learn the identity of the bride who we have been searching for years, and now that we're finally here, we're gonna drag out this secret for as long as possible. And boy, does this movie stretch out this mystery. But one of the things that I really liked about the movie is how it's actually broken up into several individual chapters, and within each of these chapters we actually follow an individual quintuplet who's going to this big school event. It really helps the audience, and more so the fans, get one last chance to root for their favorite girl. Now if you saw my last video, you'll know that out of all the quintuplets, Ichika is my favorite girl. And I was so happy when I found out that I got her on the Crunchyroll quiz. Matter of fact, I'll show you the replay right now. Let's go, baby! I'll put a link to the quiz in the description down below so that you can find out which of these 5 sisters is your bride. But like I said, throughout the movie, we see the story play out from 5 different perspectives from 5 different sisters. We first see the lovely Ichika strive for her dreams on becoming an actress. We then move on to the vicious and yet thirsty Nino, who is trying to impress her father with her baking skills. Next is Miku, who really stepped out of her comfort zone and is trying to be more sociable in school. Then there's Yotsuba, who's pretty much running this entire school festival and is doing whatever she can to make sure that it goes smoothly. Not gonna lie, while I was watching this movie, I could see the fans readying their armies as they were preparing to defend their best girl. And yet, even though my heart was racing for when Futaro finally came to his decision, at the same time, I kinda already figured out which girl he chose at this point. As someone who has not read any of the source material, I found that a lot of the film was very predictable. But maybe when you go see it, you might be more surprised for me. But as someone who has watched both seasons back to back, I've actually come to know these 5 sisters pretty well enough to know on which of them was going to be the bride at the end of the series. But even though I was able to figure out the identity of the bride, I was still both very excited and very sad. Very excited because I was so happy to see this particular sister win, and very sad because we all know that there can only be one sister to marry Futaro, and you feel bad for the remaining 4. And I love how after the big reveal, we go into a small little mini chapter that serves as the origin story for the winning sister right before we move on to the grand wedding scene that we've all been waiting for. Now that I think about it, this movie could have been a small final season. Hear me out, there are 5 episodes dedicated to these 5 sisters. We also get an origin story episode for the winning sister, before finally moving on to a time jump episode that shows us the wedding and serves as a series finale. Honestly, I can see this movie being a small little final season for the series, but now that I think about it, the first 2 seasons were about 12 episodes long, and if this movie was a small little final season, it would actually be only 7 episodes. So now that I think about it again, maybe it was the right call to make the final story arc into a movie rather than a small little final season. But even though we get a clear, definitive winner by the end of the movie, that's not stopping the other 4 sisters from giving up hope. And I could sort of see this as a win-win for the fans. I mean, for fans who rooted for this particular sister, they're probably happy knowing that she won. And for fans who didn't root for her, they could cling on to hope that maybe their sister will eventually win Futaro in the future. I don't know. So even though I found the last few moments of the film kind of annoying because of the 4 sisters, at the same time, I was very sad knowing that this is really the end of the series. Not gonna lie, right before the credits started to roll, I was pretty much looking at the screen like, no, please don't end. No, I'm sorry for what I said about earlier. I should have loved you all more. I'm sorry, no, please don't go. No. So yeah, some tears were shed during the credits. And you know what? Despite the film's predictability, I still enjoy it, and I was so happy to see this series finally come to an end. So if you enjoyed the first 2 seasons of this anime, I highly recommend you go see this movie in order to see how it all ends. But at the same time, I highly recommend you mentally prepare yourself for when that moment comes, on when Futaro will finally decide on which of these 5 sisters is going to be the bride. And you know what? When that moment came, I was filled with a lot of anxiety. But by the end of it, I was actually pretty happy with how things went. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. That was my overall review on the Quintessential Quintuplets movie. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button so you can always updates from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.